Hey guys, my name is Jason with Mount Baker Mining and Metals, and today we're in Chami, Mauritania, and we're looking at some of the small-scale gold mining going on here. When we arrived in Chami, we saw hundreds of these Chilean or cone mills, as you can see here, and the miners would hand crush the rock down to about 2-inch minus and dump 10 sacks of ore into the bottom of these Chilean mills and add a huge amount of mercury, a couple kilograms of mercury, to the bottom of the trough. And these big wheels go around, and it's called whole ore amalgamation when they use mercury with the raw ore. And they just crush it all together and squish the mercury and ore together, and as the gold is liberated, the mercury amalgamates with the gold. And here you can see some of the sacks they use and the size of the rock they feed into these mills.
We'll put it in the bag. This bag is maybe 50 kilos. Yeah, they take the transport
It's like tailings. He's reprocessing tailings. Looks like.
With mercury. How much mercury?
And here's a tub of the concentrates we're going to take over, and he's going to show us how he squeezes the mercury out and gets his gold out of the concentrates from the cone mills. These cone mills hold about 10 sacks of ore, and depending on the hardness, they can run the cone mills for anywhere between 8 and 24 hours for 10 sacks, and each sack weighs 50 kilograms, so they can only process about half to 1 ton per day.
Yeah. Well, it's coming from the drum, yeah? The mercury is inside.
Daniel, you want to give us a 10-second description of what we're looking at here?
Sure. Yeah, these cone mills are processing the rock, which they're adding mercury directly to, and that mercury, this is the material coming out of the cone mills after 8 or 24-hour process. So you can see the mercury in it if you look closely. You can see the silver balls of mercury. That's got gold in it. All of the mercury you can see has got gold in it. And so then they'll wash it and they'll get the mercury, and then they'll press the mercury through. They'll filter it in order to recover the gold.
Yeah, we're just about to feed
Most of it's still in.
Yeah, that's like half or a third maybe. Outside for working with them. And then he just squeezes it through the rag.
You guys have to prefer to stay than outside.
Wow. It's just mercury all over the place.
Wow. Amalgam. See the way that it's all falling together? Look at how much is floured. Look at the iron piece there.
Probably big gold pieces? Or no, maybe not?
Effettivamente quel pezzo di mercurio è pieno di oro. Adesso bruceranno perché l'oro è
There's ways to reduce the flowering. You can use chemicals.
Oh, wow. What I do?
هذا ابني هذا ولد
I've never There we go. So here's this is the gold sponge from what, about half of their concentrates?
I would say there's probably more in the next one because it's lower down.
Okay, yeah. And they burned this off in the little charcoal burner. And then here's their gold sponge. So now he's taking the gold sponge and he's going to melt it down into a little gold button. And it looks like MAP gas. He's using MAP gas. I'll try and hold it still here. Yep, adding borax. Just a little bit though, not much. Yeah. And now the sponge is starting to go. And I think it's just a rock. He's just using a rock as a kind of a makeshift hearth here. He's got a little bottle here. I don't know if it's nitric or not. He might add nitric to it, but
Yeah, to clean it.
yeah.
It's got quite a silver color to it.
Yeah. Is this his concentrate bottle or what? Here we go. So he's taking a little of this fluid. I believe it's nitric acid.
De l'acide, no?
Nitric?
Acid.
Acid?
So we have the nugget.
Got here on his pant leg.
Acid.
I haven't seen this process before. I think he's going to add the button to the nitric to help dissolve any copper or silver, I think. So he's heating the button again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. It turned yellow.
Immediately. Bon.
Wow.
And that is. So the silver is gone. Or less.
Silver isn't there. It is.
Take a picture.
Yeah, bon.
There's his cleaned gold.
Alla fine di tanto lavoro, questo è quello che abbiamo da un sacco da 50 kg. È uscito
Nice.
fuori.
Yeah, merci.
Yeah, merci. Très bien.
Messi?
Mais
Questi sono almeno 7-8 grammi.
Sette?
I think it's like 7 grams.
Wow.
No, I think it's like
5.
yeah, less. C'est combien? C'est combien grammes?
Allez, 5 grammes.
5?
5?
Presque 5?
Six? Six?
Questo 7.
Oh, encore.
Oh, and here comes another.
Another batch.
Here's another sponge, and he's going to do this process again.
One bag. This is one bag.
No.
So after seeing how the Chilean mills were working, I wanted to test the tailings that were coming out of the Chilean mills. So I went over and I tried to convince this guy to give me a shovel full of tailings out of the tailings trough. And I'm going to pan it down and see if we can recover any gold or mercury that was lost by the mills.
He asked you if you want a job with him.
A job?
He finds that you pan very well.
I pan well?
Yes.
It's really fine. It's all a uniform size. What we're doing here is we've taken some tailings from the cone mills or the Chilean mills, and I'm testing to see if there's any gold or mercury left over. And the way these cone mills work is the wheels go around, and then anything that gets crushed in the water and flows out is tailings. And after between 8 and 24 hours, they stop the mill and they collect what's in the bottom, and that's where the gold and the mercury should stay. But we'll pan and see if there's any mercury that gets out into the tailings.
Great.
Let's give this a swirl here. I've panned down just one pan of tailings.
Okay.
Let me take just a little. You can see the mercury.
Oh wow, yeah. Flowered mercury. Acid de mercure.
So see, this is all mercury that escaped from the mill, and this was just one pan of tailings. So in one pan of tailings, there's a significant amount of mercury left in the system, even after they're done with it. And some of this mercury may have gold amalgamated with it. So if they're losing mercury, they're surely losing gold as well.
And that's the flat.
Later in the day, we were walking around and came across this kind of hammer mill graveyard, so we stopped to take a look. So here's a hammer mill screen, and you can see it's very thin metal, and it's small holes, and they wear out very, very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like the pores have been eliminated in that screen.
Yeah, here where the hammers, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was saying that these are the rotors, and he says that he starts the hammers here on this lowest setting, and after 10 bags, which is about 500 kilograms, moves them to here. He gets 3 more bags, here 3 more bags, and then they're done. They're gone. And as you can see from the hammer mill graveyard here, the local hammer mills just don't hold up to crushing the quartz in Mauritania. While we were in Chami, we also swung by to see one of our past customers who had a turnkey system set up there and was getting ready to process some ore. But unfortunately, he wasn't around and we couldn't get hooked up with him. But we did get the shaker table running, and because we were able to pan so much gold and mercury out of the tailings from the cone mills, I wanted to see if we could get some tailings and run them on the shaker table to see if we could recover any more gold or mercury on the 5x12 shaker table. So we were able to actually get some tailings from the cone mills, and we ran them on the shaker table here. And all in all, we did about 1 sack's worth. And so once we get them run on the shaker table, we'll take a look at what we got. Got a little bead of mercury, and then the rest of this silver is flowered mercury around. And again, so I think we've shown that there's a lot of mercury coming off the cone mills into the tailings, and they're not very efficient at capturing the gold from the ore they're crushing. And by looking at the hammer mills and the local equipment, it's clear that it's just not standing up to the harsh environment that crushing quartz, hard quartz ore needs. And so that's where a turnkey system like the one you see here at the end of the video can come in for 2 reasons. One, it'll stand up much better to the high wear rates of the quartz for processing raw ore, but also a system like this can actually take a lot of the tailings and the waste from the current systems they're using, run back through one of our Mount Baker Mining and Metals shaker tables, and recover a significant amount of gold as well as a high percent of the mercury. And so by taking the waste from the current mining, you can actually clean it up and recover a lot more value, as shown here by burning off the mercury that you saw in the pan. This is the amount of gold they lost from 1 pan of tailings. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let us know if you have any questions. Our contact info is in the description below. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.